Okay, if I have a red mark on my forehead, it's because I just hit my head trying to fish out all of this equipment out of my closet because it's been so long since I filmed a sit-down video. Can you see it? First off, hello, how are you? I hope you are doing well. I did not expect to take a full 6 months off of YouTube after I had my second baby, but as we are going to get into it in this video, things were a little crazy. But first things first, if you are clicking on this video and you have not met me before, hello, I'm Erin. On this channel, you will find all things related to motherhood, homemaking. This upcoming year, I'm also planning on sprinkling in some videos on behind the scenes of how I earn an income online from home. So if you don't want to miss an upload, definitely consider clicking the subscribe button and turning on that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. I have a lot of fun things planned now that I'm out of the newborn fog. So definitely check the description box of my videos. Also, I'm revamping my website and lots of fun things coming. So enough with the intro. This video is all about the 1 to 2 kid transition, because let me just tell you, it kicked my little booty. And every family situation is going to be different, but I wanted to come on here and just talk about my personal experience transitioning from 1 bubba to 2 bubbas in hopes that it can help you possibly prepare for the situation if you are about to have another baby and just give you a little insight. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. Hey guys, future Erin here. I just wanted to let you know that I actually just made a little checklist that you guys can print out just so you don't have to take notes during the video. So I'll leave a link to download this down in the description box of this video. So a little bit of background, I have a toddler who is 3.5 now. Her name is Juniper. And when her baby sister Olive was born, she was almost 3 years old. She was like 2.75 years old. And let me just say, she was so excited for this baby to come. She was just at that age where she was kind of understanding what was happening. Mama's belly was growing. We gave her this little book that talked about bringing home a new baby that I think was very helpful. She would do this thing where she would pinch my belly and say, "Baby's stuck. Baby's stuck," like she was stuck in my belly. And when we brought her home, she was so excited to meet her. I will link the video of them meeting up here in the iCard so that you can take a look. It was such a sweet moment. And let me just say, I am so glad that we had them meet the way that we did it. So a lot of people will actually bring the toddler or the firstborn to the hospital. And we decided to not do that. We decided to have them meet at home. And that was because at her age, at 2.5, she was still very mama focused. And I don't know if it's because at the end of the pregnancy, they can just kind of sense that something new is happening, something new is coming. And she was super mom clingy. So basically, let me get comfy. When I went into labor, I went into labor at night and we went and had the baby at like, I don't know, it was like 7 in the morning. So her grandparents were here at the house already. So when she woke up, they were here, they hung out all day. And then my husband, Austin, went home that first evening to put her to bed. So that was a familiar face, but she didn't see me for that whole 36 hours. So that was a little tough for her, but we thought it would have been a lot tougher if we brought her to the hospital and then she had to leave the hospital without mama, without dad, without the new baby. So we decided to have them meet at home. If you watched that video where they meet each other, we brought the baby in and she was in the car seat just sleeping. We put the car seat on the bed and then Juniper was able to come and kind of peek in, test the waters, seeing how it was. And I'm really glad that I wasn't holding the baby because a lot of times you can see there's kind of some jealousy that happens. But I will say with our toddler, she was just in love with this baby from day one. Now this leads me to the first big pain point when it came to bringing this baby home. And I did not expect this to happen. I was all worried about Juniper kind of, I don't know, like resenting the baby or being like standoffish or trying to like push the baby away and getting all jealous. I was not prepared for the hysterical crying and screaming that would occur when Juniper was not able to hold this baby. Like she wanted to hold this baby 24/7. Like I'm not exaggerating, you guys. She would sit down, she'd say, "Oh, hold baby," and I would sit next to her. We'd put the pillows in, she would hold the baby. She would hold this baby for hours. I'm telling you, she would want to hold, we would just snuggle up on the bed, put something on the TV. We would just be holding this baby. When I had to take the baby to feed her or go change her diaper, Juniper would lose her GD mind. Like, I am not kidding. Full on tantrum on the floor. I want to hold the baby, screaming, crying. This went on for a few days. Like, she had to get used to the baby being here and knowing that the baby wasn't going anywhere. But luckily she did get used to the baby, and little by little she was more okay with me taking the baby and her not holding her. And it's tough too, because at 2.5, you know, even now at 3.5, she's so much more well, and the baby's 6 months old now, so she's not as fragile. So, you know, but when they're so new, it's scary when the toddler is like, you know, not being as gentle as they need to be. So, you know, something else I'm really glad we did is we got her a baby doll, Juniper. We got her a baby doll before the baby came, and we were practicing being gentle with the baby doll. We would practice changing the baby doll's diaper. We would put the baby to bed in the bassinet. We had the bassinet set up in our bedroom, and we would talk to her about how this is where the new baby is going to sleep. So as much preparation as you can give your toddler, the better. Read books together. Show them where the baby is going to sleep, where you're going to change the diaper. Show her the car seat that the baby's going to use. Show them the new double stroller that you got and how the baby's going to ride in here. As much preparation as possible. Now, I'm really not sure how we could have prepared more for her, like, not freaking out when I had to take the baby. But I think, you know, you're just gonna have to give your toddler some grace and know that they will get used to the new normal, but the first few days might be a little bit rough. You can't expect to know how they're going to react to the baby. They could love the baby. They could be not interested in the baby. They could really start to show some resentment, you know? One thing I have heard a lot is don't blame the baby. So basically, if you can't do something with your toddler because maybe you need to feed the baby or go change the baby, don't say, oh, I can't right now, I have to feed the baby. Say, oh, I would love to play blocks with you in a few minutes. I just need 5 minutes and then we can play blocks together. So you're turning it into a positive, and you're not putting all the blame on, I can't do this because the baby. Now, I haven't really had an issue with this. We do say now, you know, like, I have to feed baby Olive first, blah, blah, blah. And Juniper's okay with it. I've never seen any resentment towards the baby from her. But like I said, every toddler is going to be different. Bedtime was also a real struggle. She didn't want to go to bed. I would be like trying to juggle this newborn, and because up until then we would all do bedtime together as a family. My husband and I, we would be in the bathroom, we'd do bath time. One of us would be in the tub with her. We'd all be having a great time. We'd all read stories together and snuggle, and that was all different now. So I kind of wish we would have practiced doing a one parent bedtime, kind of like my husband just kind of taking those over before we had the baby, because there was a lot of times where it would be my husband kind of just finishing out the bedtime when I would then focus on our newborn. So that is a big tip. Try and practice one parent bedtimes if you have not been doing that previously. So these are the 2 books we ended up picking up for Juniper to help prepare her for the baby. I will definitely link these down below for you guys. This first one, Waiting for Baby, I feel like was super helpful when I was pregnant to help kind of explain what was going on. But a lot of the text or the story, it's not really a story, but it just kind of is from the point of view of the toddler, and they're saying, how big is the baby? What does it eat? Blah, blah, blah. So we didn't really just like read it verbatim to Juniper. We kind of just like talked about the pictures and kind of talked about what was going on in our own words, and how we're gonna get clothes for the baby, and what clothes is the baby gonna wear. And we would draw pictures of the new baby. Oh, let's go get some new toys for the baby. Or we kind of went through our closet and grabbed some old toys that would be fun for the baby, and we set up like a basket of toys for the baby. This was good for talking about doctor's appointments with mama. Sometimes we skip this page because I don't want her to think we paint on the walls. And yeah, this is just a really great book. This one was nice, talking about how mama needs rest. And then this one was also a really cute book. We more so read this one after we brought the baby home. This was something she really liked to read. I remember these books from when I was a kid. It's just super cute, all the things we can do with the baby. I wanna take a quick pause and say if you are enjoying this video, definitely give that little thumbs up button a like. It really helps the YouTube algorithm gods. Maybe this video can be pushed out to more mamas looking for this kind of content. Okay, back to the video. Now I really wanna talk about postpartum recovery, juggling a newborn and a toddler. It was so different from my first kiddo. You know, when you just have your first baby, you're able to just kind of relax and heal and snuggle the baby, put something on the TV, read a book. And yeah, you're dealing with healing and with no sleep and everything, but there's just one. Now when you have a toddler, and if you're like me, my husband had to go back to work pretty quickly after the newborn was here. I unfortunately made the mistake of trying to jump back into things and going out and about too quickly. Like I really should have given myself a solid month of just resting, because let me tell you, well, first of all, I'm about to film a video right after this all about my postpartum recovery with baby number 2 and how it was different. So I'll link that up here as well. So go check that out for more details. But basically, even though my recovery downstairs was not as intense, my body was like struggling. Like I had these stomach muscle pains. I got an ultrasound done because I thought I had a hernia. And it's really because I was trying to go out and about with the girls way too quickly when I should have just let my uterus heal. After you have a baby, you have like a plate size injury inside you that has to heal. And you know, when we're out and about, I was wearing the baby, and even though she only weighed like, I don't know, 6-7 pounds, it was still putting a toll on my body. So just know you might be thinking, oh, I'm just gonna baby wear, strap the baby to me, we're gonna go to the park, we're gonna have a great time. And everybody's body is different. Maybe, who knows, maybe you're gonna feel like $100 after that second baby. But I'm just telling you, I did not, and I really should have let myself heal a lot more. You know, ask for help. Even if you have family members that really helped out with the firstborn, they might think you kind of have things under control more with the second. So if you have to verbally ask for more help, don't be afraid to. So don't just accept help, but seek it out. And mama, you gotta let yourself rest. You have to let yourself heal. You are not Superwoman. Okay, you are. You are Superwoman, but does Superwoman get injured? I don't know, but you need to heal. Rest, mama. All right, now I really want to touch on the nap time struggle. I need to talk about putting the baby down for a nap and how you have a toddler in the living room who, 1, is not used to being out in the living room by themselves, and 2, you might not feel comfortable with them being out by themselves, and 3, they might not even let you leave them out there by themselves. Let me just paint a picture. So of course, when they're brand new, they kind of just are like falling asleep everywhere. It's fine. But once they start to get a little bit older and you're really trying to put them down in their crib for a nap, I don't know about you, but I had a baby where I really had to like hold her until she fell asleep, and then I could put her down and she would take like, I don't know, a 30-minute nap. But I had to really hold her until she was completely asleep. Now in the beginning, that took a little while sometimes. And you know, even when it got to the point where I only needed to kind of hold her for 5 minutes and then I could put her down, but my toddler would freak out if I tried to come into the bedroom and hold that baby in a dark room with the sound machine on until she fell asleep. You know, I would try and put something on the TV for her, make sure she had all her snacks, and sometimes that would work, but sometimes it wouldn't, and she would come banging on the door, she would be crying, she would try and come in, and then, you know, I would try and explain to her like, no, we have to be quiet, I'm trying to put the baby down, and she just didn't really fully understand that. So then it would be a total struggle, and then I would have to end up wearing the baby for a nap, and like I said, my body, I was still trying to heal it, and so then that's really why I was trying to put her down for these naps, because I was trying to let my body heal and not wear her. So that was just a real struggle for a long time. And I'm not gonna lie, you guys, it didn't really get better until the baby was 5 months old and we did some gentle sleep training with her. So just like with our firstborn, we kind of went with the guidelines in the Taking Care of Babies course. Once we got the baby into her own room in a crib with the blackout blinds, like you cannot even see your hand. Like, it is so dark in there. And say what you will, some people say, oh, you know, don't confuse day and night, let some light in, blah, blah, blah. She is napping like a champion now. We just took a couple days, a couple nights of her letting her fuss it out. She didn't even get to the point of that like scream crying, you know? We just had to give her the opportunity to fuss it out. Maybe this is good, maybe this is bad, but she is a thumb sucker now. She found her thumb and now she will self-soothe herself to sleep, and that is awesome. But up until about 5 months old, you know, it was a real struggle. She was napping in our room. We eventually moved her out of the snoo and into a sidecar crib situation. Let me know if you want me to make a video about more details on why the snoo did not work for us at all. But she eventually ended up in a sidecar crib next to our bed. But because that's like open to the bed, and once she started wiggling and kind of scooting around, I wouldn't even let her fuss enough to kind of start moving. I would just come and like feed her back to sleep. So once she was in her own crib with 4 walls, in her own room, in the dark, with the sound machine, that's when she really started to sleep well. And of course, she found her thumb. So I guess what I'm trying to say with this point is don't be surprised, and try and maybe do some practice runs with your toddler before the baby comes about how naps are going to work. Now, I've talked to other mamas about this, like in my Mommy and Me group, and a lot of moms go through the same struggle with trying to put their baby down for a nap and making sure their toddler is not getting in anything in the kitchen, or making sure they don't barge in or something like that. So something we also actually ended up getting, we got some, they're not baby monitor cameras, but I think the brand is Wise. They're basically security cameras, and I put one in the living room and one like in the dining room, so you can kind of get the whole scope of our living area. And so if she's out there, because I would get these crazy visions with her, like, what if she has a knife? What if she is, you know, fell and hit her head? I don't know. So I needed to have visuals on her. So we got those Wise cameras, and they have an app, and I could just like watch her in the living room on my phone. So that was really nice. So if you're going through something, or you're worried about your toddler kind of being on their own while you're helping your newborn do something, consider something like that. Okay, so here's our living room, living area, couch, mess. And over here is one of those cameras. So we generally always keep it in privacy mode, and I only really activate it on my phone when I need to take a peek at Juniper in the app. And this is really great. I will link the exact one we have down in the description box. I can't remember exactly what the model's called, but this is awesome because it swivels and you can control where it's looking, and it's also indoor and outdoor. So I think we're gonna move this to be like an outside security camera when we're all done using it this way. And it was less than 40 bucks on Amazon, so total steal. Works really great. Love it. And I love how unassuming it is here. All right, so now I wanna talk a little bit more about going out and about with your newborn and your toddler. So like I said, let yourself heal, but once you do start going out and about, just our experience, it really did surprise me how much more this baby is okay with the car seat and napping in the stroller. So my firstborn would not nap in the car seat. She would scream her head off. And I am so thankful that this second baby will sleep in the car seat, because it has made timing things a little easier. Like sometimes we'll time something where she'll take a nap in the car or take a nap back home, and that has been so great. So even if your firstborn did not like the car seat, just try and get your second used to the car seat from the beginning. And this might be why she's more okay with it, because with my firstborn, we really weren't taking her anywhere. And it was also kind of the tail end of COVID. So, you know, but our secondborn, I think she might have just gotten more used to it, and I'm so glad she's able to do that. So once you are healed up, don't be afraid to go out and about with your toddler and your newborn. They might surprise you with the whole out and about sleeping situation. Okay, so I think I'm also gonna be filming a video on products that helped us get out and about with a newborn and a toddler, so be on the lookout for that. Okay, next I just wanna talk about like my mental capacity with this second kiddo. Like, I feel like my brain power was stretched so thin. If you hear my husband in the kitchen, he's being loud. Because with this second baby, you cannot just sit and rest. I kind of already talked about this, but you can't even take like mental rest in the evening that you've gotten used to. Once you put your toddler down, you're like, okay, cool, I have whatever until bedtime to just relax and do me. But when you have the newborn, you're like also dealing with them in the evening now, and you're probably going back in there and helping them get back to sleep. Maybe you're popping the pacifier back in a zillion times. So you like don't have any of this mental time off like you did with the first one. So that is a big reason why I took that 6 months off, is because once I got Juniper down and once I got Olive down, it was like I needed to just watch mindless garbage TV. Like I just needed to rewatch Gossip Girl again. You know, like I just needed something familiar, and I needed something where I just could not have to like put any of my brain power into it. So I was just kind of like watching TV and relaxing, folding my laundry, making sure the house was still, you know, not falling into total disarray. And I'm so glad I took that 6 months off. So if you can allow yourself, take that mental leave and just let yourself heal, and let your brain take that time off. Because if you are in the trenches and you're like, oh my God, my baby is never going to sleep, blah, 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 just know that everything is a phase. Try and remember it. Everything is a phase. They will sleep eventually, and you will eventually get your life back. And that is going to about do it for this video. I hope this brought some insight into that 1 to 2 kiddo transition, gave you some things to consider, maybe some things you want to help prepare with. And just know that you can do it. Everything's a phase. You can get through this. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.